10 seconds.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the View from the Dead Box. We are coming off a off week. Micah almost sliced his wiener off, I think.
God, that was rough.
Rough.
It's
48 stitches.
I got it out of the bandage now. It's I still can't move it, but the actual cut is looking much better. It's finally healed over. I don't have a fingernail still, but don't slice with knives toward yourself, children.
Yeah, you know that rule you learn when you're like 12 years old?
Well,
Yeah.
like I said, the worst part is when you're doing it and you say, "Hey, dumbass, you're gonna cut yourself," and someone else looks at you and goes, "Yeah, dumbass, you're gonna cut yourself," and then 15 minutes later or 15 seconds later, you cut yourself. It all kind of makes sense. But yeah, we're back. It's been a rough couple of weeks with everybody getting over COVID. And I
said join the channel so he can hear the podcast live.
Who?
Chris, and I'll just mute you in the
Cord. Okay, all right, mute me in Discord. Oh, you got it. I can't join it. It's live.
Yeah, I got you. Okay. Just join the channel. I'll just drag you.
Oh, join the channel.
Yeah.
Bathroom.
Let me see.
I guess I can.
All right, you're good. You can hear me now. Okay. So it comes into where you get that age-old rule. They told you not to slice towards yourself, and you went ahead and did it anyways. You're like, well, I'm smarter than all these people.
That's exactly. And the worst part was, like, my sister looked at it, and she's not a nurse, but she works in the medical field. She has a decent idea. And she was like, "You probably need to go get stitches." And I texted my buddy Grant, that's a doctor, and he was like, "Yeah, probably." And then I texted my girlfriend, her mom's a nurse, and she was like, "No, you're probably fine." So I drove an hour to go hang out with them, and then got there. And she looked at it, she goes, "Yeah, you probably should have went and got stitches." I'm like, "Well, I would have went and got stitches or had them." They probably wouldn't have stitched. I think they actually would have had to cauterize it because where it is. But yeah, I mean, we're good.
So how long did you go before you went in to get it looked at?
It was like 5 days.
5 days?
Yeah, I did it. This is pretty much all me, except when they like re-cleaned it. Like, because I didn't clean under the skin, obviously, but we are. I think
within about that is they have to rip it all back apart and then get in there and they shoot it and then they still scrub it. They scrub it. Yeah, that's the best.
It was not fun, and like I probably could have avoided like that, but I couldn't bend it, and I still like. You can kind of see it twitching on the camera.
Yeah, well,
that's me trying
to field.
Yeah,
at the field, your thumb was moving. You're like, my thumb's twitching, and I'm like, well, that's actually a good sign.
Yeah, because I was worried at first. That's like I was like, I can't bend this. This is not good. Yeah. And it was. I didn't even think I told you this. So Saturday night, I put my pod pack on. I put some pods in it, and I was trying to figure out if I could could reload. Yeah, because I wanted to play. I haven't played in like 4 weeks, and I was like, I guess I could like put the gun down, reload all with my right hand, and like I can just my left hand just need to support the gun. Yeah. I was like, I don't need to grip anything, but then I was like, I couldn't reload. That was my biggest thing, and I was like, I almost got shot in the thumb, and that was my second thing. I was like, man, I really don't want to get fucking shot in this thing because I don't complain about much, but I know that motherfucker would have hurt.
We'll get shot.
Yeah,
that's what you're getting shot at, 100%.
But so what did we do this weekend? We took an off weekend, and then everyone had COVID. It's been a little bit of a struggle for us since the last MVPS.
Yeah, well, yeah, we had
like 1 weekend.
Memorial Day, right? Was that no Labor Day? Sorry,
Labor Day.
Yeah, Labor Day. Then we had the weekend off after the event directly.
Yeah.
Then we had a practice. Then we had Labor Day. Then we came back now. So this is kind of basically everyone's first week back in a little bit. And then this week, a lot of the guys, Savannah Titan guys, are going down to the SPL.
Yep, good luck to them.
And playing that event. Yeah, good luck to those guys. We're not going to be there, so we'll probably take another off. Well, some of you guys will. I know me and her, we're going. We have vacation, so we'll be down there. We're in the same general area.
Swing in there and give them a hand.
Yeah, no, I'm down on vacation. Fuck paintball at that point.
Yeah, I got a vacation this weekend too. What are you doing?
Where are you going? Yeah, where are you going?
I'm going camping. I'm going to Bryson. I'm going to like Cherokee, North Carolina. We're camping.
Oh, okay.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, next Sunday.
We got the work's taking us to send us to Disney.
Oh, that's
so fun. Yeah, like a 3-day trip. So I haven't been there since I've been like 12.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be kind of good to go there and just check it out. see if it's all
I
still
don't think I've ever been to Disney. It
really.
was always everything
No,
else. Yeah, I
your
don't think
parents
I've
didn't
ever
take
been.
you there when you were younger, way younger.
No, we used to do a lot of Universal. We
That's all
did.
we've ever done.
We did one Disney I like. We didn't do like Disney World or whatever it is in Orlando. We did
Yeah.
the Animal Kingdom.
Well, that's in
Um,
Disney.
well, that's the only park we did. We didn't do the other, the actual Disney
The
park.
Magical Kingdom.
Yeah, we didn't do that. I don't
Yeah.
think we might have.
You probably did. If you did Animal Kingdom, you probably did Magical Kingdom.
I just I
Think we do
remember I
Sister.
was older when I went to that though. Like we were
Oh.
like 14, so I think I would remember. But I know we did a lot of. We had some friends that like were part owners of SeaWorld at the time.
Yeah.
They've passed away now, so we always got free SeaWorld tickets. So we did a lot of SeaWorld.
Yeah. So we're gonna check out all those. We got like a 3-day pass up there. And we have a 3-day resort that they took care of. So we're gonna kind of do a park per day all the way through, and then we're gonna do Epcot each night. We'll just shoot into Epcot, hang out there during the nights. But so we played this weekend. So we'll have an off weekend this, and then we'll come back and then be back onto it.
In
then
like
we have
2
the
weeks for the
CPSL.
SDL.
We have the CPSL coming on the October 9th weekend.
Yep.
And then the weekend after that, we have MVPS. Not super sure what a lot of the guys are doing. I know we're taking most of our guys we played the last D3 MVPS with, and we're putting another D3 MVPS line in. It'll be basically everybody that was at the last one. So Daniel, Kyle, me, Jamie, Chris Rangel, trying to think who Pang, and we'll probably do Cox is coming down, and then we'll do. I don't think Craig is gonna play. I'm not super sure, and then more than likely, we're gonna bring in Curtis again. So we'll see, but it'll probably be the
fun.
same. What you call it? Same line as
That's
last
the
time.
MVPS.
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure if you said CPS or MVPS. My head was. I had a text message asking if my tent had a rain fly, so I was like, "What the fuck do you mean? Does my tent have a rain fly?" Yeah, that'll be fun. Fuck, I was gonna go somewhere with that. So that's basically like you said, that's basically the same line from the last MVPS. And what did y'all place in the last night? Was it fourth?
Fourth.
Fourth. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, y'all definitely should be able to take top 3. I mean, if y'all don't take top 4th again, I'd be very surprised. If you really don't take top 2, I'd be surprised because you know what I mean. Like that should,
especially after all that shit that happened in the very last match in fourth place. So, then we have Project X is in 3rd place right now for the CPSL. So they just have to go to this last one. They'll either keep them in or possibly get bumped into 2nd, I believe.
Yeah.
So I think they only did the top 4 scores. So I think they do that. I think they're locked in for 3rd, I believe. But they have a chance of getting 2nd, I think.
Oh, that'd be cool for them.
Yeah, depending on how well they do here. But we actually have a vacation plan for that weekend too. So we're probably just gonna send the other 2 D4 guys up there with him and then let him go. Which we were talking about at the field.
Yeah.
We got this time of year, we have all the vacations planned and going up into Cup. And then obviously we have, Cup, we take the week off too. So
yeah, it's a weird time of year because it's like our busy paintball time, but it's also the end. You know what I mean? Like it's
same.
8 weeks. That's you know what I mean, it's 2 months till Cup basically. So and everyone is and all teams are in the same boat. They're closing out their series, their local series they've been playing, and all the teams that are traveling are like, okay, we're ending in October and we go travel to play our big event at the end of the year. Or if they're lucky enough to play all the NXLs, then obviously they're going to be there. But I like it. I have some questions from our good friend Arthur. I think not the last podcast we filmed with Davies, but the one before that. I think he also sent us some topics there, and he sent me quite a few, or not really topics, more questions. So I'm gonna start off with one. I got 5 or 6 here. I don't know if I'll do all of them. The first one is, what is your preferred type of playing surface, and why?
Say that again.
What is your preferred type of playing surface? He said, for example, like grass, turf, dirt, or clay. But I would throw out.
Okay, well, I mean, are we talking about like in a perfect world? Because
I think in a perfect
3 grass
world.
fields I've ever played on that are like perfect, right?
Yeah.
But if I could play on a perfect grass field,
you would prefer that over turf. I agree.
Like thick grass, like Prime. That field, their grass field, goated. But if not, I like to play on a turf field like ours, where it is rubber inlay, on top of dirt, like packed down dirt, with like thick NFL turf with rubber inlay inside of it.
Yep.
Not like Myrtle Beach's shit where you feel like you're diving and breaking your fucking what you call it?
You're fucking reading my mind. You're literally saying exactly how I was going to phrase this whole thing.
Well, I mean, because we had what, like 3 guys get hurt because of that?
Yep. And like in general, I feel like obviously I don't do the big moves like you guys do, but I feel like I get better traction on dirt. You know what I mean? I think that is.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
I would say a lot of players agree with me. What do you in a? Oh, a chip?
Uh-huh.
I thought you were trying to put. God, he's crunching into the microphone. God, I hate you. I thought it was a fucking chicken drumlet for a second.
What?
The shape of it, and then you
It's a
crunch
fucking
it.
potato chip.
I saw you put the whole thing in your mouth, and I was like, "Ooh, I wouldn't need a drum quite like that." And then you crunched it. But yeah, I would prefer grass, or yeah, grass as well, but good grass.
Yeah.
But for like every day, as long as it, and same thing, I want good turf, but I don't necessarily need the best turf. I just need above average turf, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you can get that nowadays for a relatively decent price when it comes to building a field. And grass in the long run probably I would say
Guys.
costs more to maintain and die. You know what I mean? Keeping it
Guys.
lush is a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
But all the fields that do it, your beautiful grass fields are nicer than good turf fields. Even high end turf fields, really. But my computer does not want to shut
rains.
down.
You can't play on it. You fuck up.
Yeah.
It's like it's easy to damage. They have to maintain it so much. If you have a proper built turf field, it'll last years without needing much maintenance at all. If it's done properly. So
yeah,
I think, and honestly, I think it's funner to play on. I feel like you can be more aggressive with the breakouts.
on turf, yeah.
Yeah. So it makes for more, I think, a funner day doing like wild shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I can agree with that as well. That makes sense. Next question. This kind of you will be able to answer this better than me because your wife actually plays. But why do you think there are not more female paintball players? I have my suspicions.
Because they're ass.
God, you go right to the point. I mean, in general, yes, there are some good ones.
Yeah, I know. I didn't say all
Yeah.
females are ass. Just like 95% of them are ass.
A lot of them, yeah. It's the ones that God, I'm gonna work. This is gonna make me sound like a real piece of shit. The ones that play and practice with mostly other females don't get better because they all do the same bad things, which is like, I mean, that goes with anybody, but I see a lot more of them stay that way, if that makes sense.
Well,
I don't know who we play in South. Go ahead.
Yeah, there's a reason that Courtney went from D6 to 4 in like one season.
Yeah.
And she like beats up on D4 kids all the time.
Yeah.
But we also threw her to the fucking wolves for a full season and let her just play against us. I think a lot of males in the sport ruin females in the sport for the reason that like they take it easy on them. You know what I mean? So they don't. I'm not saying you have to go like full bore, but they won't fuck them up.
Yep.
They're not gonna learn. You know what I mean? It's like your dog chews your extension cord outside. Like you beat the shit out of the dog. You know what I mean? Like it's he's not gonna learn. It's like, oh, just put it in the cage and let it come out and just like eat the extension cord again. It's, you know what I mean? I feel that if you don't really push and show the weaknesses of the problems they're having, and that goes with anybody though.
Yeah.
I think if you baby them and cater them, which we did not do with her, I think it speaks for itself. Like a lot of females I see that have started and played typically fall off and lose interest because they just don't get any better.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like she was seeing progression, and granted, she's played collegiate sports, and everything. So she's seen progression every week going up and going, and then she's seen that she was accelerating the people that she started with very rapidly. And then she was competing with people that have been playing for fucking years. She's like, well, why am I being able to like hold my own against some of these people that have been playing for 5, 6, 7 years, sometimes 10 years? I'm like, well, they've plateaued.
Yep.
They've hit a level and they just are not increasing anymore. And this goes for anybody who wants to get better. If you train and practice hard enough and apply the things that everybody that is better than you are telling you, you will see gradual increase every single weekend. Like, oh, you were doing this wrong. And then it's in your head. Like, all right, well, let me fix that. Oh,
Yep.
you were doing this wrong. It's in my head. All right, let me fix that. And then if you continue to fix those things, like I said this weekend, I was trying to help out Caden, Mike's son. I'm like, fixing the small errors makes for big improvements. I'm like, if we can get you to do this when you get into the snake, or get you to do this, or hold your gun like this, or look like this, if you do these things, these small errors will make for big improvements further down the line. But if you continue to drill these bad habits, you're going to be fucking ass. You will you will continue to make mistakes. You won't learn from the problems. You will only just, like I tell them, you're going to plateau. You're going to
Yep.
hit a spot, and then you're not going to accelerate past your level of competition you're playing in. So I mean,
You said that perfect. You're 2 for 2 on the night, dog. That
I like
was
it. Liking it.
I was sitting, I was like, okay, yeah, he's yeah. Wes is hitting everything that I wanted to say. He's gonna make this the West Side Tell show tonight. But no, I mean you're right. If when we first started playing, you're like Courtney. The first few times, I want to say everybody pulled off a little. Pulled off a decent amount,
Yeah.
probably the first. But I do that to any new player. I'm gonna shoot them, but I'm not gonna run it. You know what I mean? Because I want them to come back, and we all want them to come back. And then it turned to one of those things where Courtney shoots me one time, and I'm like, okay, I'm play a little harder. You know what I mean? Play more against her than what I would. And then the next thing I know, I'm looking at them like, God damn it, I gotta play 100% because if not, she's gonna fucking slide into the Dorito and shoot me out. Or if we're playing on the same team, I used to would like, I mean, you had to do this too, like coach her in a way. And then now it's like I can say, hey, Courtney, go do this. Or Courtney needs my help and I have to help. You know what I mean? It's one of those things you actually work with them and you have confidence doing it, because there's nothing worse than playing paintball with someone and not having confidence that when you ask for someone to shoot somewhere, or like you need like help me, and all those things come into one. And that is why, because dudes are ass and we don't teach the females as good as we should, really and truly. You know what I mean?
Because, well, yeah, I think it's because it's kind of like I said, I obviously I said it wrong being a smart ass, but I'm like, because they're ass, because females are ass, right? But we let them stay ass.
Yes.
If we help them and we're to like work with them and don't baby them.
Yep.
But we work with them, you know what I mean? And it's hard, like working with her, like, and having to go home with her and hear a bitch because like I was like an asshole, whatever. Because I was staying on her ass about this, or like getting her ass about this, you know what I mean? It's hard for me, but at the same time, she knows like you probably need to listen to me. You know what I mean? Like if you want to get better, you should probably listen to me. So she understands that. But in the same aspect, it's like it's hard to coach somebody that doesn't want to get better.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because that happens a lot. I feel that
happens a lot. It drives me nuts.
Come to the field and they're just doing it to like just pass time or like hang out with a guy or whatever they're doing, and they don't really want to get better. But I've seen dudes come out and they just want to play. They don't want to get better. I'm like, if you just want to play and just have fun, there's no need for you to show up here and want to run drills or want to run on these scrimmages. Just show up when we have open practices and just get on the field and get your shit pushed in. Like, don't come down here and waste my time. Because I've told the what you call it guys, the extreme defects guys. I'm like, I've told them when they were getting their shit pushed in against like bums at these events, I literally messaged in that group. I said, I will show up early and stay late for anybody that wants to get my help. Like, and everybody there knows it. I'm like, but what I'm not going to do is waste my fucking time and be here when I can be sleeping in my fucking house, showing up and then playing and getting my shit done and going home and enjoying my Sunday or Saturday, But I have no problem working with people and showing them what I had to learn the hard way, and so they don't have to, so they can push past that and jump into the next rank. But some of these guys that are just there and going like, either they think they're better than they are, which I see that all the time.
Yes.
Or they just don't want to hear it because either A, they think they're better than the person they're getting instructions from, or they think they know more than that person. And it's like, maybe you do know certain things more than this person does, or maybe you do know this, or you do know that. But it is easy for me to sit back on the sidelines on these practices and watch you guys play
Yep.
and fix all the mistakes, because you guys still, as a team, and us, we still make mistakes every single point.
Oh yeah.
Um, it's like, and I like sitting back and really sitting down, and Jamie will come up to me, and I'll get on his ass like, hey, like this weekend, he made a move from the 200 to 300, and he shot at the guy in the Seattle on the inside going from the 2 to 300, and he missed the shot, and the guy seen him and he missed the shot, and I'm like, well, we can't be missing those. Like if we got to sit here and run this drill, so we're not going to miss those, like that's what we'll do.
Yeah.
But we can't miss that shot going from 300 to 400 or wherever you're going to go, and you're going to miss that shot. Or don't even shoot. Don't take the chance of shooting. Get to the bunker, wait, relax, then take the shot. And he was like, yeah, no, and we talked through it and we figured out what was going on. But me sitting back and seeing what's going on, and that's the thing about having a good coach that has knowledge, that can sit back, that I can just fucking go and play, and I don't have to worry about doing that anymore. I can just go and then have him come tell us, hey, this is what this, and that's why, not to kind of step on their toes, but when I see Barry and those guys was coaching 843, I've played with and have seen Barry and them coach many teams, mainly Jeremy's teams, for a long time. So I know Barry knows what's wrong and what's right and what needs to happen and what doesn't, you know what I mean? And he's always ran a great program, but to see the 843 guys struggle is kind of disheartening, because I know that they're better than the performances they've put out lately.
Yeah.
And I think they are stuck in between staff, you know what I mean? And they don't have the correct hands on deck to really put together a line and game plans, because when they play and their shit is correct, very strong team.
Yes.
But I think it's the 843 guys, sometimes it's like a bad apple spoils the bunch, you know what I mean? Like a monkey in the game plan, like a monkey wrench in the game plan, it's over, you know what I mean? Because I've never played the 843 guys and it's been the same team twice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's I think it's because they've had Darren coach them, and they have Barry coach them, and they had nobody coach them. Then they were playing with just their core guys, which I feel that they're strongest when they're just playing with their core guys, personally.
I agree.
And they're just playing off of their like pure skill and field
and camaraderie too. You know what I mean? Used to playing with your same group of guys. Helps a lot.
I know a lot of the guys know that, because we've talked about this off air, me and them. And I'm like, man, you know, and I'm not going to say what I told them, but when they play with their core 6-7 dudes, that they're the strongest they are. And they do have players around them they bring in that are very good, that I don't feel meet the jambalaya, right? It's like they're throwing in fucking steak. Like, you know, I mean, that's good, but it just doesn't mix. It just doesn't work. Right. And that goes with everything. Like seeing, and I've seen a good coach like Barry is watching them give game plans where it was working, and then me standing in the pits and listening to Darren at the same time give them other game plans. They were kind of like stepping on their feet, but that right there, I can see, you know, it's one or the other. You know, it's one or the other. You gotta have one or the other, and that goes to anybody. It's like, if you can get one good, solid, dedicated coach to go, this is what we're gonna do. This is the game plan we're gonna run this game plan. If it doesn't work, then I'll know it doesn't fucking work. You know what I mean? So, and we need that, you know, and I know you talked about taking off next season to full-time coach, and same with Chuck, but I think that'll be a huge help. Is I can go back to just playing full-time and not having to worry about, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah. No, I feel like when I know I'm going to an event and I'm going to coach, I don't play the weekend before, or even the 2 weekends before. And I do almost what you do. You're like, when you're sitting up on the top, I will sit there, I will watch games. Let's play 15 games or whatever, or even run drills, however many drills we run. And then I can come back and have all my notes and look at it, and then like normally talk to you and Jamie like that, you know what I mean? Or Chuck even. And then I can say, hey, this wasn't working or was working, or so-and-so did this, we can't do this. And I feel like we fix not all of our problems, because no matter how, you're not going to fix them all. But I feel like we have better placings. You know what I mean? When we have
Yeah.
someone who is like the sixth man and is, I don't want to say in control of all the situations, but can see everything from the outside. Like it,
Yeah.
I feel like obviously we've won with us playing, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Me and Chuck both. And we've done very well when me and Chuck take the back seat and can look around and be the eye. You know what I mean? It's almost where this level of paintball now, because there are so many good teams, like you have to have a dedicated coach, at least in X ball, and it's probably could be used in some of these SPLs too, like having a, you know what I mean? If you had another dude who was just going to coach,
scout.
yes,
That's what it really comes down to there. Yeah.
But
Scouting in general, I think, is a very overlooked. I hate scouting certain things about teams because some people get way too over analytic with it.
yeah,
But I think scouting in general is a very underrated thing they can do in a game plan, right?
yeah, I
If you
agree.
know this guy went to this bunker, shot this lane right here, 6 out of 7 points they played. And you watch the next match, and he went to the alpha, shot cross body going into the snake one. And that's what he shot that lane for 2 pods, and then he let it go. You watch this dude do it 10 out of fucking 12 times. You're like, okay,
Yeah,
well, we're gonna do a game plan on these 2 players to capitalize on these 2 players right here, because this is what we're gonna do. So we're not even gonna send a body through that lane. We're gonna waste this dude's gun. Then we're gonna trap his ass here, and we're gonna just zone the whole left side of the field so they can't move in the left. We'll just zone it up. Not even when we, and we could playing zone. You can play down bodies on us. Like let's say we play like a trap on, I don't know, like on a Dorito guy. We design a trap over there, but and you can use a 2-gun trap on that side of the field, and then you can just play zone defense on the left hand side of the field where you can be down a gun and just have them zone off a side, right? And you don't need to have everybody shooting at another person, right? I think we don't run as many game plans as we should.
I agree. Yeah.
But again, we don't have a coach standing behind us, you know, telling us this is what we need to do. We need to shoot here. We need to shoot here. You know, we're just kind of come back in the pits, talking amongst ourselves, and then going, oh yeah, okay, I think that'll work. Yeah, let's try that. But not somebody standing there with pen and paper going, nope, didn't work. Nope, didn't work. That worked. Yep, got that guy. Okay, cool. Let's shoot here. Let's shoot here. Let's trap this. Let's shoot this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. It would it'll help. I'll be curious to see. Like I said, that's my plan next season, and obviously Chuck's too. If we could be running with like eight players into like a main coach and then someone else scouting, I think that would be fair. You know what I mean? Because someone who's coaching, it's hard for him to see. It's hard for him to see both sides of the field. I can normally see where all the bodies go and like who makes it in alive. You know what I mean? And then by the time I can get all that written down, the game's starting to like progress and I need to see what's going on. So it's hard to see, you know, I mean, both of those things with one set of eyes, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right. I have one more question from Arthur. Well, he's got a few, but I'm going to use one more. What is your best hotel story coming from a tournament? Like,
I think we covered
is
this.
it that one? Is it this?
I think we covered this.
Then we won't do it. And okay, well, so what's your worst hotel story for a tournament? That almost could be both.
I think it was both.
Okay.
I think it was the one when me and Nick got into a fight with the people downstairs in the lobby.
That was gonna be mine as well. I wasn't sure if you had another one that happened somewhere else or another
I've stayed
time.
in a lot of shitty places.
Yeah.
Like younger in my paintball days, we used to cram as many guys into a room because it was like $7 a person, and we would just stay in like 2 rooms for like 10 people. And then get out of there, you know. But I think that's what probably that shitty fucking hotel with me and Nick were like arguing with the guy downstairs because the AC wasn't working in the room, and they wouldn't give us a refund on the room because all the rooms are sold out. He's like, you know what I mean? And did not want to help us out at all. I'm like,
I wish I had cameras for this.
It was wild. Was it not wild?
You
were probably like 15, 16 at the time. No,
God,
you were younger than that. Maybe.
Probably 14 or 15. Yeah, I think Jamie was probably, I mean, me and Jamie are about the same age. It was because it was me, your brother, Jamie, and Reed were all in Stan's car.
Yeah.
And it was like he drove, me, Jamie, Reed rode with Stan. I think it was you, your brother, and Nick rode together. Yeah. Like there. But y'all like rushed us out of the hotel room. And we're just like, get in the fucking cars. Cops are coming. We got to go. And we're like, okay. So we shuffle downstairs, get in the car. And like, the last thing I remember is Stan shutting the door saying, don't come out till we come over and get you guys. And I'm like, yes, sir. Why are there cops here?
Yeah, it's wild.
I got a little one. I don't think I've ever told this one. I haven't told this one to a lot of people. So I rode up to a tournament with my parents one time, but we like kind of caravan with everybody. So it was like, it was everybody like Nick, Stan, Jamie, all that same group of people, Gordon, Taylor Parker, Matt Into, all them. And I was staying in a room. It was me, Stan, Jamie, and Matt Into. And then in the other room, it was like Gordon and Taylor and some other people, and your brother and Reed, I think. We decided we're gonna go to their hotel room while Gordon's in a shower. You know what I mean? Open the shower door on him, do one of those things. Well, we sneak on it, and everyone was above 18 for this story, just so we're all clear. So everything was legal.
Quote unquote.
So we run over there and we bust on the shower door. Well, we expect there to be a fucking shower curtain. There was not a shower curtain. And how we all are, obviously no one has any shame. So Gordon just spins around, shakes his cock, and everybody turns and runs off because that wasn't what we expected. We thought it was going to be us getting him, but he just turned it the other way around. So we're all sitting there. And so we go back to our room, and Stan is on his bed, and he's cleaning a 2K6 Timmy from the night before. And this is probably 2008-ish. Well, I see just a flash of like a naked man run by the window. It's Gordon. He runs into our room, butt ass naked with just like a towel, jumps on the bed that Stan has this gun in like a million fucking pieces. And it's just like eyes going, eye covers, baldy tents, fucking battery, every screws flying across this hotel room. And Gordon ran off. So we spent the rest of the night literally trying to find all the parts to this fucking 2K6 Timmy to put back together. So he had a gun to play with. And then to like top it off, I wake up in the middle of the night and have like this, and this is why me and Jamie always have our long going sock jokes. I wake up in the middle of the night and go, fuck, I forgot my socks. Well, because Jamie's like one of my best friends. I see he has socks in his shoes. I steal his socks in the middle of the night, put them in my bag. He didn't have socks to play the tournament the next day. And I told him like a couple months afterwards, I was like, hey man, you know that tournament, you didn't have socks? I was like, yeah, I totally woke up in the middle of the night, stole your socks out of your shoes, just put them in my bag. He was like, what the fuck? I'm like, well, I didn't have socks, but I saw a pair of socks. So I just took said socks and my feet were good. I'm sure his were all fucked up. But
for the listeners, I want you to tell them the story of Ken driving up with Mr. No Maps Magoo to the event.
Okay.
That's what I want to hear.
Okay, so I thankfully wasn't playing on Shane's team. So my team had full guys. It was my team at the time was me, your brother, Gordon Reed, and Emo Joe. That's who we had. Can was playing with it was Matt Into's cousin, Zach Schnall, this dude named Darren, and then Shane. It was those five, and we're just playing 5-man GFOA. Well, Shane is driving up this morning, and it's God, I forget the name of the place. It was one of the indoor fields, but it wasn't indoor.
Was it in Atlanta?
Yeah, it was around Atlanta. It was a hot minute, but it wasn't indoor. It wasn't like.
Was it a Hot Shots? Maybe.
No, it wasn't Hot Shots.
Dozer.
Not Dozer. No.
Either way.
But anyway, it doesn't really matter.
Wildfire?
It was Wildfire. Yes, I just saw it. It was Wildfire paintball, but it was the outdoor Wildfire. It wasn't the indoor Wildfire. I think I just found it right here. So this is like Madison, Georgia.
Yeah.
But anyway, so like our guys, we get there the night before, have a nice sleep, hotel room, all this stuff, because we've been playing a little longer, so we kind of know the drill that driving 4 hours in the morning sucks ass. Well, the three of the team show up. It's everybody but Can, this dude named Darren, and Darren's grandpa. Well, Darren's grandpa's driving them because they're all way too fucking young to drive. So, like Wes said, no maps McGee or whatever. This is 2012. He's literally driving from Savannah to Atlanta using a map to find this paintball field in the middle of nowhere. Well, paintball tournaments, you know, if they start
like shitty locations,
and if they start later than 8:00, that's rare. You know what I mean? That's like the latest you're gonna get. So you need to be there a minimum hour beforehand, like probably an hour and a half.
Yeah,
is where you need to really shoot for. Well, I don't know what time they left. I'd have to ask Shane. I think they had already left late. Like I think they heard start time at 8. I want to say they left at like 5 or like 4. You know what I mean? Like it was like they were gonna be there if everything went according to plan smoothly
At 8.
at 8 o'clock. Well, 8 o'clock passes, 9 o'clock passes. The other team they have to play, so they're playing 3-on-5s and somehow doing very well because they make it out of prelims, which still to this day blows my mind. And finally, 2 o'clock ish, 3 o'clock, they show up. And I can just remember Shane's face stepping out of the backseat of this car. And he was just like, what the fuck? Like, because it took them, God, 8 hours to go somewhere that should have took you 4 hours. But Shane was not happy. He actually rode back with me and Gordon. He was like, I can't ride back with them again. It was like, he was like, I literally just spent all day on the car. Let me hang out with you guys for a change. But the worst part was that field anyway didn't have cell service. So like at the end of the day, like all our cell phones were dead. And like, we finally, like they knew, like they would tell you where to go get cell service. They would say, hey, pull out of the field, drive 3 hills down. If you sit on the top of the 3rd hill, you'll get 1 bar. So it's like when we left, there's like a line of paintball players, like all parking their cars near this top of this hill so they can all get cell service. But I'll have to have Shane tell. I want to know what time they left that day, if he remembers. They were so late. Like
I just remember talking about him being super, super late.
Yes.
And basically not even playing.
Yeah, he didn't play because they didn't sign in the morning, and everything was closed, so they couldn't play. The team, the guys took like 8th place or something. They made it out of prelims, which is just a miracle on its own. Like, how the fuck does that happen? We did this is another little quick story about that field. We drove up. It was me and Gordon rode together. I think it was the same group of guys. Me, Gordon, Reed, your brother, and maybe either Emo Joe again or Weston, one or the other. I don't quite remember. And your brother decided to sleep on the roof of his ex-girlfriend, now her car, like when they got there. I think they had gotten an argument. So he was like, well, fuck it, I'm going to sleep on the roof. He dented the living fuck out of the top of the roof of that car and could not get it out. Like, I mean, I guess 40 pounds of man laying on the roof of a car all night long is not good for it. And it was just like a good 2 inches down. Like, and it was like in the shape of like a body. And he was like, tried to pump it up like from the inside. And he was like, oh, well, it just kept rolling. He goes, it's on the roof. No one will sit. I'm like, Jesus Christ, you dented the shit out of that fucking roof.
Oh,
that was when me and Gordon thought it'd be a good idea just to sleep on the ground on the outside. And we started fucking freezing. And then went back in a car. It was fucking miserable. That I don't think I've played to that field 2 or 3 times. I think if I've won more than 3 games there, I'd be surprised. It's like every time I go there, I'm like, well, we're gonna lose, guys. Like, don't expect to win this one.
We'll be home early.
Yeah, it was just we never could win there. It's crazy. But yeah, good sir. Did you have anything else?
I think that's it.
Have you looked at your famous book?
I need to look more into it.
All right, I need to look more into mine, and we'll do an episode about it.
She asked me to look at it. I need to look at more tonight. Wow, what's up?
No, I haven't really dug into mine yet either. But I'll dig into mine, and hopefully you can dig into yours. We can just kind of talk about it because that'll be probably a good little episode for everybody. I'll have to figure out a way I can get a top-down camera.
Marcelo and Blake Yarbrough just signed in to be partners in Dynasty LLC.
Oh, that's cool.
Just happened a few minutes ago, like an hour ago.
No, that's badass. I know they were talking about something was happening earlier today, and I hadn't seen quite what it was yet. But.
Yeah, so not really sure exactly what the deal is with that, but it says Dynasty adds Marcelo and Blake Yarbrough to ownership group.
Interesting.
So,
I wonder who all is in that ownership group.
Well, from the picture, it's Ryan, Yosh, Marcelo, Blake, and Alex.
Okay.
So that's the 5. There could be more, but that's the 5 that's in the pictures.
What did you say the name of the ownership group was?
Well, I'm just looking at it. ProPaintball.com has it up on Facebook, but it's their top story. But it says Dynasty adds Marcelo Margot and Blake Yarbrough to ownership group, and then it had them like sitting down signing. And I seen it on Paintball Sports earlier that it was them signing contracts, and it looked like when they were signing contracts, it says Dynasty LLC. So I'm sure they have a corporation of
themselves. Yeah, it actually is. It's Dynasty Paintball Club LLC.
Yeah.
I was curious. Sometimes you can see. Sometimes all that stuff is public, depending on how much they're into it. I mean, they're an LLC, so they have to have some of that stuff. I might dig into that too, because now I'm kind of curious Who it all
Yeah.
be.
Yeah. Take a look at it. How much you think? We can talk about it next week.
Yeah, man. All right, everybody. So sorry about last weekend. I was winded, but it's actually been an LLC since 2012, and it's actually based out of Arizona. I found real fast. Anyway. So thanks for listening, watching, buying merch, not buying merch, all that fun stuff. I actually can't get into the merch store right now. I think someone hacked my account. I spent all day trying to get in, so I got to figure that out.
Oh,
But
sweet.
yeah. So thanks for listening and watching, and we will catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.
Later.